Skibidi's woman's wingwoman here to set the tone. There is a traitor, and you'd be surprised too. The lens is as important as Lucky's device, with other overlooked, provable secrets. I was right, but I was wrong on who was waiting. It turned out to be the secret agent instead of the cameraman who was waiting on the agent. I know where he went after that, and it wasn't the rock on the other side, where everybody had noticed him before. But we will talk about that later. Come with me. I know that Elite Cameraman noticed the spark at the door in episode 67 part 1, but did you see the spark when the point of view of episode 67 flew into the door? Something that still bothers me to this moment is who took those shots in 65 at the kamikaze. If they had not, we wouldn't have Titans, or they would have been in worse shape when they showed up in 67. First slap that Mafia received is a backhand from Titan Cameraman. He winds up exploding in fire again. Compare the two slaps. He'll be back. Titan Speaker only had his right knife. It was the same one that took out Titan TV's screen, making him say, don't forget how Traitor had to change the ending of episode 67. Right at the beginning, in part 2 of episode 68, I had noticed the writing on that little map in the background. First we have the appliance that Elite found, with the one missing P. Then I saw Plunger with a really funky EG situation. Then I saw Alliance. It seemed to use all the letter spacing, which looks the best. But what do you honestly think about it? There's so much more to cover. Come on, let's go. The agent showed up in the factory. No, I'm not talking about where his face tried to show through. When he realized he couldn't use the same method he had used in 67 because we didn't have the lens, he physically got close to us, which is what makes the errors happen. He actually shows up in person and tries to point at something for us to notice. But because we don't have that special lens like the big cameraman, we couldn't really see him. He actually walks away. That green glow that everybody took notice of is actually a panel through the door. I think what he was pointing to was that toilet that is not paying any sort of attention. Everybody else in the way of the toilets is all looking back at us. And there's definitely somebody there. That cutscene explained a whole lot in the season. Even Plunger Cameraman put 2 and 2 together here. He saw that loader go through the door down there and realized that Lucky Cameraman had a door opener that only the toilet seemed to have access to. Thank you, MrPewix, for the theory on this. When did Lucky and the secret agent meet, I wonder? Which means that he was able to get special favors, and he seems to know this base way too well. Sorry, he is not the traitor. And it's actually rather obvious. From the moment I saw the large cameraman get shot, I felt regret, because I knew we were going to lose him, but I also knew we were going to have to get that lens back. The lens is going to rival Lucky's device. The agent gave it to the big cameraman in 67 part 1, and nobody noticed him. Everybody was looking at the blue tie twins as they ran past. Right there next to the logo is the secret agent's shoulder. The Skibidi scientist made us put it on. Then we got the message real clear because of it. And that made us follow the scientists into the base. Otherwise we see like Plunger did in the factory. Now a lot of people have noticed the hat in the elevator, right there next to the dying big cameraman. But I think because it's a hat, it's also referring to something being totally Cap. It is a Easter egg for his old Big Smoke videos as well. Something is totally Cap on that elevator. Now that we have established that something is Cap on that elevator, look where the new scientist looks right before the door closes. Also, take into consideration the number of people on that elevator. There is something not right about it. Watch as the big cameraman dies. We have the big cameraman, point of view being Plunger, Lucky, the 2 black and whites, the twins, the 2 speakers, and dark speaker next to another black and white. And then, of course, point of view is Plunger. Again, we need to establish who managed to get into that base. First, we have Lucky, who we now know has the ability to control the doors. He was a part of a set of twins. I was sure of this. The last time we see the black camera twin was in episode 43, where he first runs away and then comes back to help in episode 61. I was so hoping that that red sleeve was the black camera twin. I thought he was like the Titan cameraman's finger cannon and would come back. We cannot be sure that we haven't seen his brother. However, Lucky seems to be taking up all the screen time now, and maybe he's looking for his brother. either way, I hope we get answers for him. Next is the yellow tie Speakerman with the bat. We originally knew him as the original Simps friend. They went on missions together. Thank you again, MrPewix, for finding him. The famous Dark Speakerman also made it, and during the short time he's been back kicking butt, he has made friends with Plunger. I am glad this hero made it into the bunker. If you're a fan of the series, you know what he's been through. He's known to rush in on courage alone, though, which has led to most of the problems he's had in this series. However, even his comeback was awesome. After him were the Blue Tie Twins. We saw them before, and they were used as a distraction from a secret. Then a rather infamous Red Tie Toilet Speaker Driver made it into the group. A team of black and white cameramen made it. One with a stun gun and the other one with the darts. Like at the beginning of episode 66. Last but certainly not least, we have a big point of view cameraman from 67. And that is the group as we move through the base. It is the same group of people, the numbers do not change, and there is nobody teleporting in from the Alliance, as we well know. We get to see everybody's fighting styles and attitudes. Red Tie totally fits the Red Tie stereotype, by the way. Let me list off the group one more time. We have Lucky, Yellow Tie Speakerman, Dark Speakerman, 100 Cameraman, the Blue Tie Twins, the Red Tie Speakerman, the two partnered black and white cameramen, and the large blue shirt cameraman. After the big cameraman dies, we should have had a change in number. You need to look around this elevator. Something is very suspicious as we turn away from the dead big cameraman. With Lucky Cameraman at the controls, the two black and white next to him. Next we see the Blue Tie Twins. And then the Yellow Tie Speakerman next to the Red Tie Speakerman. Then we have another black and white. Lastly, Dark Speakerman. Nobody noticed that the numbers hadn't changed because they were up in their fills. And then of course point of view is Plunger. One of those black and whites are not supposed to be there. We have an extra in the group. Take note of that cameraman next to Dark Speakerman. He's not looking where everybody else is, he's staring down like. Then he gives you a thumbs up and looks away before the point of view does. Before episode 68 part 2. The hint DaFuqBoom gave was not everyone is on your side. Well, everybody assumed it was Lucky. But if you look over there next to Lucky, there's a black and white that's just staring him down. I think we may have found our extra and our traitor. I wonder if it could be Simp dressed up. Now for just a couple of random things I happen to notice going through the episode. And why is there a human morgue gurney down there at the end? Dear creator, that smiley on TV Titan that has not been on any other TV person, been choosing to give it the TV Woman exclusive burn-in radiation? Did you see me coming? Having completed my mission on getting people to think differently on the Skibidi universe, S3W is so done with this. Coming